Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. Okay, before we get started, let me quote something over here that will get the result of doing what we do, and we also get the result what we don't do. So remember this thing, and with this note, I just want to share some code of honor. Why code of honors? As we know that we are here joining into the sessions with only one intent, and intent is what? To get placed. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the reason this is the first pillar of Guru School, that is instructor led free training, where you guys are requested show up live and be on time and practice to be punctual and be highly committed for the first pillar at least, so that you can continue to move to complete your sixth pillar of Guru Schools, which you have learned in the demonstration session of Be Agile Scrum. Why do we need to practice? Because this is what exactly we are going to practice once we get placed. And to reciprocate that and to duplicate that, we need to practice it on a day-to-day basis, because how we do anything is how we do everything every single day. We keep on reminding this to each other and for ourselves. So while we are learning with the first pillar, remember to be the full stack student, and it says that you need to do all the assignments what you are asked to do. And while you are doing that, also do your own self research and repeat what you have learned through the videos which has been uploaded and shared with you after the session. And third one is the take full responsibility. As you are doing all the assignments, then you will take the responsibility to succeed towards getting place, because these are the few steps to reach towards the success. You can also take the full responsibility of getting failed if you're not doing some assignment, or you are not doing some activities which you are asked to do, because every single step and pillar is connected with each other, and sometimes in parallel you are asked to attend some sessions, like for example RRRP session. Okay, and that builds your profile, that strengthen your resume to market it by our HRs for you. Fourth, when you are in this journey, you have to also take care of your mindset, which has to be open enough to learn anything, and with positive approach and positive attitude. Sometime in this, the mind is tend to, look for negativity, and thus it will produce a lot of complaints. But still you are encouraged to have a complaint free mindset and load yourself with the gratitude and move towards the one goal, that is towards getting placed. The fifth one is increasing your receptivity the moment you start your day. How will you do that? By listening every single day. The Strangest Secret, the audio which I have shared with you, okay, of Earl Nightingale. And while you are starting your day with this, you will start noticing every single day is changing for you. And there is an exercise given in it to practice it for 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, if you could continue and remain consistent on this journey for 30 days, you will see the major transformation. I'm not talking about the change if you follow it for next 30 days. That's number one. Number two, while you are learning and starting your day for learning, start your learning with the declaration, then learn, and then draw whatever you have learned immediately, and then try to summarize it. You can summarize it to some kids, okay, in the simple language, or you can summarize this yourself in the mirror, or through some short videos. What exactly happens, why you are encouraged to publish some short video in the group itself, that attracts some listener. They could be some interviewer who are connected with social media platform of Guru Schools. They may watch you, and we can vouch on you that you get uh, properly interviewed. Anyone can pick you for interview based on what the content summary you have posted on the social media, or your summary have been selected to be posted on the social media. Remember, every single thing is the preparation for you, just to market you to get place. We are helping you so that you need to also help us to help you. Remember this. Okay. And while I have quoted this of summary, let's remember, this is what is golden quadrant of learning. When you start any learning with the declaration, and after that you draw that and summarize it. We are encouraging you to summarize every single session what you hear or listen or participate in or engage with after the session gets over. So Monday you attend first session, second on Tuesday the second one, then on Wednesday you can record the first session, Thursday go back and in parallel attend the RRRP session with Devji, and on Friday you shoot your another day of summary of video of the session, and Saturday Sunday you can chill out as per you. Remember over here, before I get into the next activity, that this Saturday or Sunday any one of you will be randomly selected to be interviewed based on the summary you have posted till now. Okay, individually you'll get message, and this interview will be the live interview where your camera will be on, you will be dressed like an interviewee, as a candidate, and you will be interviewed. Remember about this, how you will be interviewed. Individually you get the information in your WhatsApp message, so be prepared for it. It could be anyone, and next week you will get to know who was that. Okay, so now are you ready to for the declaration before we get started? Okay, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participation. So here, these are the line. We are going to repeat after the count of 3. We are going to give an anchor that is called as self hi-fi. We also call it as a clap. So at the count of 3, you are going to clap. 1, 2, 3, and go and clap. I am a quick learner.
I'm a learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
Now, once again, clap and repeat what is selected on the screen if it is shared with you. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and repeat. Because I am an awesome learner.
Because I'm an awesome learner.
Today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
Today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
Exactly, it is going to be, because you just now said that. And remember, while it is going to be, you need to be a giver, inculcate a giver mindset that makes you more spiritually grounded, because you are on the path of learning. And while you are on the path of learning with the goal of getting placed, remember to set an intent of doing the charity, that whatever you would earn, out of that 5% or 10% you will keep on contributing and giving back to the society. Why? Because what you give, that lets you grow, and what you receive, that lets you survive. So not only with the intent to grow, but also to with the intent to inspire others, you can continue to follow this, and do appreciate what you do and what others do for you. Even this does not happen to you, remember to keep appreciating, because what you appreciate appreciates you. On this note, let me open up the PowerPoint slide for you. I'm going to stop the screen share. By the way, everyone did everyone over here participate in the declaration?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why I'm asking, because I couldn't hear everyone's voice. That's the reason. Okay. Fine. I trust you all. So the slide is opening up, and we will start from where we had left off. So while I'll share that, I'll request Prerna ji to take it up. So
yes, Gaurav.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for a wonderful start. And I would again like to highlight the interview sessions, demo interview sessions, which we are planning. Those will give you the real life experience of how it would be an actual interview with any other organization. So please gear up for that. Take it as an opportunity. It will be like a proper formal interview. So dress accordingly. Your video will be, should be on. And yes, I urge all of you and request as well to prepare yourself for this very good experience, which will definitely help you for the final interviews. Okay, so take this opportunity. If you have any doubts, please connect with us. It will be an open forum. We will let you know a day before for whom we'll be planning. So we just want to keep it as a surprise, so everybody is on their toes for preparation. So yes, take this opportunity. Okay, yeah. Should we start? Gaurav, you good?
Yeah, I have shared the slides and I hope you
Yes,
can
yes.
see.
Yes, I can. So thank you so much once again. So yes, guys, here we are to learn about how the Scrum planning process works, how the entire Scrum works. So this is a very interesting and easy to understand picture or diagram or process flow which we have. And here, if you can see, we have these small emojis type of people associated with all the activities. So can anybody read out these activities plainly for me? Or I think I'll just request everybody to read each item. Like for example, input, and we have product backlog. Okay, I have read that. So the another pointer, yes, Anila, Bela, anybody, please, one by one.
Yes. Sprint
Go ahead.
planning.
Okay. Okay. Where did you go? Okay. Sprint planning.
You need to
then
complete input.
Yes. Yes. I was going to say that. Complete the input first, then we can go line by line. Yeah.
Capacity, velocity, current product
Okay.
status, constraints.
Okay. Somebody else, please. Thank you. Thank you, Anila.
Yes. Sprint planning. What and how.
How? Perfect. Okay. Next.
Output.
Maybe Brijesh. Okay. Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Output, sprint goal, and sprint backlog.
Okay. Okay. So can anybody tell me, is anybody finding any new word in this, or everybody is comfortable with these terminologies? Like they've at least heard this, or for anybody, they are listening this for the first time? I guess we have all talked about this in earlier sessions. Still, we'll have a brush up and deep dive into this process. Okay. Gaurav, I would just like to be on this slide for a moment. Yeah. So if you see, it's very simply, what is illustrated, that there are people, like for example, product owner, maybe along with the Scrum Master. Now we don't have names, but yes, product owner along with the Scrum Master who prepare product backlog. Okay. So we have kind of heard this for a couple of times, that one of the main responsibility of a product owner is preparing a product backlog. So they are nicely dressed gentlemen standing there. Then we have to check the capacity, velocity have, and what is the current status. Like if there are too many things pending from earlier sprint, there are people who are leaving the team, or there is some requirement of new skill for which we don't have the resource yet. So all these considerations have to be thought upon, and that is the part of the input. And then definitely constraints. So constraints can be, we have a resource constraint that we cannot take more than maybe 6 resources, or constraint can be we have to develop within a short span of period. It's a short sprint of maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Constraints can be anything in any form. It can be time, money, resources, technology constraint. So basically constraint means challenges which we'll have to overcome. Okay. Then comes sprint planning, what and how. Now this is really interesting. What as in what all should be the part of the sprint planning, what should consist in the sprint, and how about how means how that will be allocated, who will do what, how the roles will be given, and who will work on which task. And definitely your output would be or the main achievement of this entire sprint will be definitely, first of all, your sprint goal. What is the goal of your sprint? And along with that, how the sprint backlog will look. So sprint backlog is like a repository of all the requirements, all the tasks to be worked upon. So in a sprint, when you complete all that, then how the sprint backlog looks, the task would definitely be reduced. Or in case if user has given anything new, so all these tasks, all these requirements, that would be also added. So even from this diagram, we can understand the entire Scrum process, right? So what are the inputs, what is required for the Scrum to get started, what actually happens in the Scrum, that what and how will come to that, and then what is the output, how the ultimate goal is to achieve the sprint goal, and to work on the product backlog. How does it look? Okay, so Gaurav, would you like to add something here, or we can go to the next slide?
Yeah, we'll move to the next. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so if you can see how the sprint planning is structured. Okay. So basically there are two parts. Let us start with the scope. I'll request somebody who has not spoken earlier to read out this for me, please. That is scope. It's pretty
yes,
simple,
please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajesh. Please go ahead.
Part 1, scope. The team selects which items from a prioritized list of ready product backlog items, usually expressed as user stories, they forecast will be able to complete during the sprint. Here's a sample agenda for the first part of the sprint planning. What is the goal for this sprint? Use this as a decision filter to determine which product backlog items to include in the sprint and what product backlog items are ready and contribute towards the sprint goal.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. So yes, definitely. The first point to be considered for any sprint planning is your scope. Okay. So scope in plain English means what is your criteria, or I would say what are your boundaries for any work to be done, for any activity to be performed, for achievement of a particular goal. What is the scope? So for example, in our school days, your curriculum, your syllabus used to be the scope of studying for your exam. Okay. But then as we move on to masters, our syllabus, our books, authors, just increased, it is multifold, like there are too much of scope, a lot of scope, I would say. So that way in sprint planning, what is your scope? So that means it's a prioritized list of products or features or product backlog items. Usually they are called as user stories. So basically those are like small stories wherein users requirement, users needs, or the features or the functionality which they're looking for are mentioned, and they forecast that what will be they able to do during the sprint. Okay, so what all features or functionalities we are supposed to be developed and complete during the sprint, that is the major part of your sprint goal. So these are, for example, if I have to consider any travel tourism website, so yes, the website should have a home page, the website should have details of all the packages, the website should have details of the airfare, connectivity, details of the cities, countries, continents, that is it gives the services to, or whatever, just a hypothetical example for your better understanding. So this all stands or is considered as a scope. So there are a few questions that you can ask. So the questions are, what is the goal for this sprint? So what is the ultimate achievement that we are looking at? Goal is basically something you want to achieve during this entire sprint. So it can be a functionality, a user feedback given earlier that we want to work on, so that is to be, and this and we have to use this goal as a what is it, as a point or as a decision filter to determine what all things we have to complete in this sprint. So it's very simple to understand. It's just like if a customer wants to see home page with all the data of this, I would say, travel tourism website, then the goal for this sprint is getting that data from the customer, working that functionality to show the flights, to the airfares, the connectivity, the schedules, and all this stuff. So all that will be a part of your sprint. So basically, scope is a very good thing that ensures that you complete your functionality, your requirement provided by customer within a stipulated time, and you have boundaries. Otherwise, what happens if the scope is vague, if it is not clear? We tend to lose our way at times, that we do not know where we have to be or go on the path. So yes, scope defines what boundaries you have to work within, what you have to achieve. So this is very important, and scope in general life is very important. Next point is what product backlog items are ready and contribute towards the sprint goal. So that simply means whatever items available in that product backlog, which are all completed, and definitely we'll have to work on the points which will contribute, which will take us towards our sprint goal, right? So I'll again request you, don't worry about some of the jargons, some of the word like sprint goal and stuff like that. That might sound new to you, but then if we think from regular or understanding point of view, it simply means for your any day-to-day activity, how you define your scope. Like if you have to go to any mall or Target or any other place for your some of the stuff to buy, then what is your scope? Your scope is just to go there and check your list and buy the items that is from your list. So you have a scope. So that list is like your scope. On similar grounds, for every sprint, your sprint goal, and to achieve that sprint goal is your scope. So any doubts any one of you has, please feel free to ask, or I'll just request Gaurav to add anything he wishes to. Yes. Bela, Kamini, you have any doubts? Abha? Sorry, Kamini is not there.
Yeah, so scope,
yes.
Scope
Yes,
is quite
ahead,
important. Please. Yeah, so this is all about that what we are including in the project. Okay, scope is inclusion, and something which is de-scope is exclusion. Okay. So remember that is decided during the sprint planning itself, that with the brainstorming what we are going to take it up, and from that discussion it comes up that a few things may require further discussion with the client, between product owner and client. So these all gets filtered in the sprint planning session only. But yeah, we are pretty much clear that what all we are going to include. Yeah. So I can move to the next slide, and Prerna ji, you can continue. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gaurav. So how is sprint planning structured? These are the few pointers for that. So yes, I would request everyone who has not spoken earlier to take this opportunity and read out. Please, you can read one point. It's not necessary that one person has to read all. So yes, Abha, maybe?
Yeah. How is sprint planning structured? First is who is available for this sprint. Identify any vacations, holidays, other activities that will impact everyone's availability during the sprint. Then what is, okay. Shall I continue?
Yeah, so go ahead. You can read the next point.
What is the team's capacity based on everyone's availability?
Okay, thank you, Abha. So can we request Rupa? Rupa, you're there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, please go ahead.
What items will the team includes on the sprint backlog based on the sprint goal and the team's capacity? How confident does the team feel that they will be able to meet the sprint goal?
Okay. So if you can understand, these are the plain questions which we need to ask during a sprint planning process. And these are really, I suppose these are really easy to understand, but still I would like to throw some light on it. So who is available for the sprint? And we have to see, for this is for any planning, right? Like how we plan our vacations, depending on when are the holidays, when are the long holidays, long weekends, national holidays. So that is definitely just opposite we have to do in office or in your organization. So we have to make sure that whenever there are holidays, we have to manage that schedule. It's not that you don't plan your work, but you plan accordingly, you know. So same way, considering all these vacations, leaves people have, availability of the actual resources that we want, we plan the sprint. And yes, we'll have to check and ensure who all team members are available. For example, some people might be on their mandatory leaves. Some people might be out of the city. Some people, some team members might have some health concerns or prior appointments. So I'm just giving you some hypothetical example to consider, like even in our organization, when we have any project, when it's a very high intensity, short-term project, we have to complete on priority, we ensure that people are available. So yes, apart from unforeseen events of any health issues, coming up at the last time, apart from that, all these things have to be considered in a sprint. We have to ensure that if we have a 4 weeks intensive sprint, the team members have to be available throughout during this time, unless until there is something ad hoc or unplanned comes in. So that this is a very understandable requirement. And yes, what items will include on the sprint backlog based on the sprint goal and team's capacity? So yes, what was the client's requirement? As per that, we'll have to consider what is the sprint goal they are asking for. So all these items associated to sprint goal, and definitely team's capacity. Team's capacity means if there are some functionalities involving a highly skilled member who is there in the team, then definitely maybe it can be technology specific or anything. And we have to ensure that if we have 10 people in the team, so we'll have to have work accordingly that those 10 people will be able to complete. You know, you can't have too much on the plate and force people to finish. No, we'll have to consider who are available, what is their skill set, what is their availability, and then work and distribute or actually consider work accordingly. And yes, as it's a very intense and very closely knit team, we have to understand that as a product owner, as a scrum master, we should be able to gauge or able to identify that how the team is, how confident the team is feeling. Like if we are considering there are 10 people, and if we take 10 tasks per 10 people and assuming there are 100 tasks will get completed. So are we being rational? Is it possible? Is the team ready for that? Are they equipped to work on that? So all these things have to be considered, and on that we go ahead with this sprint planning. So yes, these are some of the pointers we'll have to consider and take into your understanding before going ahead. So yes, I feel this is quite easy to understand, but please, if anybody has any doubts, please feel free, or I'll just request Gaurav if he wants to add anything.
I think this is quite self-explanatory, so easy one-liners. So we can move to
definitely.
The next one. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes. Now this is one of the best part of our daily life or actual life plan. So yes, please take this opportunity. Who has not spoken earlier, I would request. Yes. Don't make me take names, guys. Okay, please. Bella, maybe you would like to go ahead?
Yes.
Please.
So how is the sprint planning structured? The part 2, the team discusses in more detail how they will deliver the selected product backlog items. The second one, this may, but does not have to include the identifying task for the product backlog items. whether there are any dependencies between the items and signing up for the initial product backlog items that each team member works on.
Thank you so much, Bela. So guys, if you read this, this is also quite simple. It means what it states. This is a planning phase. First was scope and second is definitely planning, wherein the team discusses how they will deliver. Like for example, if we have 100 tasks for 10 people, then how those tasks will be taken up? Is there any dependency? So all these things are discussed upon. And yes, this is may or may not, depending on the size of the sprint, depending on the intensity of sprint. You can or you may not discuss this, that identify which are the product backlog items. See, for example, if you have high priority items already identified, then you might not take too many product backlog from earlier sprints or so. So it's all situation and scenario based. So yes, if we have to identify if there is any dependency of the earlier unfinished, incompleted task that needs to be completed before the for this sprint to be completed, then definitely we'll have to finish some of the tasks. Like for example, the home page needs to be prepared. It's a client task. It's not any particular rule. The client says we need to look at the home page first, and then we'll have to go for the plan your trip page. So yes, we'll have to complete that page first. We'll have to finish that functionality. So similarly, we'll have to see what all functionality we can work upon earlier to complete this goal, sprint goal. So I think this is also quite simple. If anybody has any doubts, they can, or we can move to the next slide. Because see, these things are really your day-to-day activity, which you are already working on when you plan a trip, when you go out, when you go for grocery shopping, when you work on daily basis. So there is nothing, something rocket science that we are working here. Just we're trying to coordinate or relate that to your actual Scrum process. So yes, again, interesting diagrams and very easy to understand. Also, I'll request all of you to take pictures of these slides, especially the one with the emojis and the process flow. Because even if you daily, whenever you're free or even just scrolling through your images, you look at these diagrams and process and just try to remember, recall things. It will be very easy for you to understand the concepts. Okay. So yes, who is left? Maybe who is left now? Anila has spoken right earlier, but yeah, you can repeat. Yeah, Anila and Varsha maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Anila, you go ahead.
Sprint planning, product owner, creating the product backlog, planning a project release, Scrum Master and the development team, sprint planning, 6 to 8 hours working day, sprint backlog, daily Scrum,
right?
Analyze, design, build, testing, acceptance criteria, sprint review, sprint retrospective.
Sprint retrospective and then sprint review, yes.
Deployment, distribution, shippable product features, bug-free product increments.
Perfect. Okay. So here, if you see, half of the things we've already, kind of discussed upon. So product owner creating the product backlog. See, you can see this a paper sheets kind of, or tabular structure where you handle items like, So this is for your visualization. That means your product backlog has so many items to be worked upon, and that is prepared and maintained by your product owner. So, okay, his major part is done. So it's like planning a release, planning this a project schedule. So this is called planning the release. That is how we have to start working on each sprint. Then here we have a Scrum Master and the development team. See, we have discussed this earlier, that Scrum Master and team works very closely as compared to the product owner, because product owner has other bigger responsibilities, or he works at a higher level. But then if you see here, the Scrum Master and development team are associated. So what do they work on? Along with product owner, they are a part of sprint planning meetings, wherein you put in maximum 1 day or at least 6 to 8 working hours in that sprint planning, or how to go about it. They call it, it's a Japanese methodology where you spend the maximum time of your any work item or any project in planning. So you plan so well, so thoroughly, that the execution becomes simpler and it becomes faster. Okay. Many a times in life, we just, what I would say, just get into the execution mode. Yeah. Just get into the execution mode without thinking it through, or without having a sound or detailed planning. And many a times then things might not work out in the best way. When we plan, that time we foresee what could be the challenges, what are the availabilities, what are the benefits, what are the scope. So we can give some sound time to it, a sound understanding, which is done in this. So yes, you have many a times the entire day dedicated for this process, and then that is then the implementation starts. So it's a very in detail planning phase or planning process, which is very important and crucial, because in sprint we have so many things to do, so intensive, so much of delivery. So it's really worth it, and it's really recommended to give your time into that planning phase. And then yes, if you could see, this is a cycle of 7 to 10 days, wherein all these processes keeps happening, or these are supposed to happen. So if we have to start, it's like your daily scrum happens, as we have discussed this quite a couple of times, 15-minute standing meetings or daily scrums, wherein everybody comes in and discusses what we worked upon, what are we going to work today, and are there any challenges being faced, if they need any kind of help to complete those or tasks or challenges. Okay. Then coming back to analyze, design and build. So after this, we'll have to actually see how our development is working, how that build means, how the development code is working, how the functionality is working, and is it as per expectation. This is an internal testing which we're talking about. Then this, after your development is done, you have to do the testing. You have the internal testing team, so do the testing acceptance criteria. So many a times what happens, people from customer also are involved in the testing. Nowadays it's quite a thing that even their dedicated team who are experts in testing, who know how the functionality is to be worked, they are also, I'm not saying they're always, but many a times when the client is also tech savvy, they also want to be actively involved. They also have their people. So along with your testers and along with your BAs, their team member is also part of the testing. It can be just for understanding purpose. They would like to know what functionalities have been developed. After that, you have your sprint retrospective. That means that internally, you as a team, you sit with your scrum master, your team members, and you check that whatever the sprint goal or whatever the sprint was supposed to achieve, the activities, the functionalities, that has been completed or not. So for that, it's an internal activity. We'll have to arrange for a separate boardroom or conference room. It has to be like a proper presentation, but your internal teams, so you know where you stand and you see how it's working. And after that, once you complete that entire sprint, the sprint review meeting is conducted with the customer, with the with the client, wherein people from their organization, their team, their respective people of that project, they come in and you give in detail presentation or review of all the functionalities that you as a team or you as a Scrum team has developed. Okay, so this looks pretty big, but then when you work on daily activities, it's as smooth as can be possible. And yes, deployment distribution means you have to deliver in every testing once you develop, and once you are done with the proper testing, the testing is successful. We call it testing pass, testing fail. So when the testing is passed, it's successful. Shippable product features means any functionality which is working fine without any error, without any bugs, is developed, is delivered to the customer. So yes, I would ask anybody to, do they feel there is any further clarity required on this process? Because see, it is as simple as it looks. And as we have been talking so much about Scrum processes, people involved, now I think we are very much familiarized with their process, their task, what kind of things they work on. So yes, Gaurav, would like to add something here?
Yeah, so I have a question to everyone. How many of you are listening to Prerna ji closely, paying very close attention? Is that everyone?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So
Yes.
let me ask you another question. If the thing is that we keep on asking you in between, and Prerna ji keeps on asking you in between that, do you have any question? You have to come up. So because you have not come up with any question, so I may call out anyone's name, okay, and will ask you this question. So this question goes to whom? Bela, what do you understand by deployment?
Deployment means after when the product is ready to be delivered after the sprint review.
After sprint is ready, what did you say? After sprint?
No. The once it's the sprint retrospective, then sprint review, and then after they deliver the product, means the item.
Okay, let me ask Abha. Abha, what do you understand by deployment?
No, I did not get that.
Okay, so in case you are not really getting the words, please ask that. Okay, so this is with everyone, not with only Abha, with everyone. If you don't get any word correctly, please ask that, because the more intent is that your knowledge has to be built up and to be strengthened before you crack the interview. So yes, Bela, you were right. So yes, the another part I just wanted to add over here, what you see here in the just below product owner, these are the stacks of the to do, okay, stacks of the activities to be performed, okay. And remember, every single candidate, I'm quoting here, every single card over here as a candidate is important, and every single candidate is a goal in itself, okay. The another intent is that we need to keep on pulling these stacks, okay, on priority basis to the next, and the final outcome has to be this, okay. So these stacks has to be movable, okay, and finally it has to be shipped. Bela said it right, it has to be deployed at the customer's end, but it will follow certain process in a step by step manner. Last time I gave you the example, from local to local means developers personal machine to dev environment, where all the developers can access once one candidate is completed after discussing in sprint planning meeting. Then every day they discuss in daily stand-up meeting, and thereby they develop, they design, they test, and they demo to client, that we call it as sprint review. And then once client agrees, we simply ship it up. Okay, so this is how it traverses every single candidate, and every candidate is in a goal itself and can be further broken down in the small activities, to-do list, or task or subtask. Yes, I'm done. Prerna ji, can I move to the next slide if you'll take?
Yes, please.
Okay, so where is the next slide?
Thank you so much for adding this, because see, we are aware that some of the words might be new for you. So if you have any slightest doubts, you are most welcome to ask. We are here to give you clarity for that. Okay. So if you see, this slide is also more or less a repetition of the earlier slide, wherein the only high points or important points are mentioned, like what is the project vision, so that means what is the overall goal. So for us, we've taken the example of maybe a travel tourism website, bless you. So then what is the release planning, that means how are we going ahead with the development, so what is the planning process, then we start with the planning. See, I'll tell you that the difference between a release planning and a sprint planning, it's as simple as that. How release is like your a semester or like your annual course, and sprint planning is like per se each subject wise planning. So to achieve the release planning, to get the release planning results or goals, we'll have to go sprint wise. So basically a release would be of 6 months, if just for an example, and your sprint would be of 1 month each. So there would be assumingly 6 sprints in that particular release. So try to have this concept clear. The release means your entire project. It can be of 1 year, 2 year, 5 years. And in that project, your sprint can be, of 2 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on your task. Generally not more than 4 weeks. Yes. So yes, the planning phase goes, then see what all the details we have mentioned earlier, now they're considered as implementation. That includes development, testing. Okay. So once that implementation, development, testing is done properly, you go to deployment. In implementation, you have daily scrums, that is like the essential ceremony or activities. Then we have a sprint review, within the team, and then you have the sprint retrospective meeting along with your actual client and customer. So this is basically a repetition of the earlier sprint. I'll encourage you to take a picture because it has all the keywords, right? In the last session I had mentioned, please have a notebook and mention keywords. So in this slide there are all the keywords which you'll be kind of expected, or if you use those in your interview sessions, the interviewer will definitely know that, okay, you are aware of the concepts, you are aware of the terminologies. So yes, each and every word is important in this slide. It's retrospect, it's review, daily scrum, deployment, everything. So yes, Gaurav, this is basically in a way a higher level repetition of the earlier slide. So I think we are good to move on to next slide. If anybody has any particular doubts, even this is also on the similar grounds. So we have inputs at the left side, we have outputs at the left side, output at the right side of the screen, and then in between what happens, you give the inputs means you give the actual team members their work, they have the skills, they have the time, this is the input, and what they work on, how they work on, who are the people working on. So they work on product backlog, how they work as per the planning, as per the task allocated to them, and the who is definitely the team, the scrum team, and output means the shippable product, the deployments, the delivery to the actual client. So this is how, in short and crust, in a nutshell, a sprint planning looks like. See, doesn't it look easy, guys? I mean, be very honest. Is this something that you feel it's extraordinary? I feel this is what we all do on daily basis. What do you feel, Varsha? If you have to associate with your daily task or any other activity like planning a vacation or going to supermarket or any other thing. What is your take on this? Be honest.
Yeah, and apart from the daily activities, if like few of us are already doing some jobs, so whichever
Right?
job we are actually doing, performing at our respective offices, I think we follow the same process everywhere. So once you know the flow, how the
Yes.
input flows, who does it, how they does it, and how the output, how you get the output, I think it's very easy to understand the process. But you
Yeah.
should be knowing the flow.
Very, very rightly said. So the flow is somehow inbuilt in us. Since childhood, we know that even to do the
Mhm.
homework, we require a pencil, we require an eraser, we require a notebook. So these are the inputs, and the output will be obviously your A to Z's or your some maths homework. Same way, if we are planning to cook some particular dish, maybe say a pasta or anything like that, so you know what are your requirements, your vegetables, the cheese, and the pasta and anything. So we are always kind of groomed since childhood, that what are to be we need to do to achieve what. So on similar lines, on similar fashions, this is sprint planning. Very rightly, aptly said, Varsha. Thank you so much. Yes, Gaurav, over to you, or we
Yeah.
can go to the next slide.
Yes. So I want to add over here very important thing that this may sound like it is understood. Every time we have to give some input and then output appears. But remember that during the process, the discussion of doing what, who will perform what, and how they will perform, it is very, very important. Otherwise, what may happen? Everything will get chaos, everything will be destroyed. How? Because here the most item is that undergo in the assumption. Okay, imagine the new people are coming together to stay, and they know that everyone is skilled in something, and they assume that this person will follow. Okay, say for example, one person is skilled in the room cleaning part, another is expert in cooking part, and another person is good enough in some filling the grocery item. Now this same example you can apply once a new person after getting married comes into a new house. Okay, so if this meeting does not happen and he is not educated and this point is not discussed, that who will take care of which department or which activity, people will keep on assuming. At the end, nothing will get finished or accomplished, and people will keep on discussing this at the end, why things did not happen, because we assume that you were skilled on that, so you will do that. Because we assume that I was skilled on this, so no one else will interrupt in this activity. So how things get destroyed? Just because of assumption. And that's the reason it is given a point of time to you where you be vocal and you declare that, hey, I can take this opportunity, this responsibility, I'll be finishing that. Why voluntarily you will do that? Because you are part of self-organizing team, where you don't need anyone to manage your work. You become your own boss when you declare and you decide that you will complete it. So it is very, very important to be vocal on what to be completed, how you are going to complete it, and who are you to complete it. Are you tester to complete its testing? It's a smaller module. Input is all those stacks. Output is again the stack itself, what you have taken up. So I think it has made you clear why it is very, very important to be vocal on the what, the how, and the who during the sprint planning meeting. Does it hold some importance to you in front of you, that how important it is? Otherwise, if you won't do that, what could be the repercussion of it? Everyone is clear out here? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe yes is from everyone. Thank you so much. So yes, we'll move to the next slide. Prerna ji. Yeah.
No, thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for the added clarity. So yes, if you can see now, we are going to learn or understand about the sprint planning in detail. So again, I'll request someone to read out for me. Yeah, the how part.
I'll take it up.
Yeah, please.
Sprint planning. the how part. The development team plans the work necessary to deliver the sprint goal. Ultimately, the resulting sprint plan is a negotiation between the development team and the product owner based on value and effort. Now the
Okay,
how part.
now,
All right.
okay, we'll wait for the how part first. So
Okay.
yes, if you read this, we have discussed this till now, wherein we know what is to be developed, delivered for achieving the goal. And it's a very interesting word when they say this is ultimately resulting in, it's a negotiation between the development team and the product owner based on value and effort. Means, see, development team is a team who works with client closely, but as well as a product owner is a team who considers all these aspects, like what is the actual delivery when we have to complete the project. So he has a higher view. So many a times they do have a differences opinion, and it's rather good to have discussions and your doubts or your this thoughts get clear. So that's why the interesting word negotiation is mentioned, that yes, they do develop, they do weigh the pros and cons of what all to be developed in this sprint. So yes, this is a negotiation within the team. The team might want to work on some functionality for them that is important to be delivered to the customer. But when the product comes to product owner, he says yes. Along with that, some other work also needs to be finished. So it's always little bit pushing and little bit pulling from each side, where there will be some timeline constraint, there will be some additional work, there will be some new challenges, but that's the fun of it, that's the fun of this entire process. So yes, that's why the negotiation part is mentioned, wherein everybody is always in discussions, they're talking, and then they have to come to an ultimate what I would say middle ground, where whatever is required from the customer is delivered as per their ask. Okay, now going to the who part. Yes, anybody else, please read out the who part.
Who?
Yes, the who part. Yeah, please.
You cannot do sprint planning without the product owner or the development team. Product owner defines the goal based on the value that they seek. The development team needs to understand how they can or cannot deliver that goal. If either is missing from this event, it makes planning the sprint almost impossible.
Okay. So here this simply states that for sprint planning, every team member is essential. So basically product owner tells or defines, not tells, he just ensures and he defines, he declares what is the goal we have to achieve as per what the customer is asking for, or as per his discussion with other important stakeholders are, wherein so it's like he mentioned that, okay, we have to complete this travel and tourism website in say 2 months. But then when the team comes in, they see what are the functionalities, the requirements, and they're like, we would not be able to complete it exactly within 2 months. We might need some 1 or 2 weeks additional time lines, or we need some resources who work on this technology. So things like that. So it's really very aptly mentioned that this event cannot go ahead or cannot be completed without any team member missing. That can be product owner, scrum master, your development team, including all of the team members. So yes, this is like how and who does. So basically everybody is involved in this process from the start, and they are essential part of it. So yes, Gaurav, we can, I think, go to next slide. It's quite easy to understand. Yes.
Yeah, I moved to the next slide, so can continue.
Yes, and this we have seen thoroughly in today's session, the inputs and the outputs. So the inputs is basically a starting point of your sprint plan, where product backlog has the list of stuff. Stuff means potential functionalities. And also this means we have to keep completing the work in incremental fashion. Incremental fashion means you work till for example, when we were students, we used to do homework from page number 1 to 5, and then tomorrow you'll complete homework from page number 6 to 10. So that means you're going in incremental fashion, you're going on and on, ahead, right? So like that, the team should be able to work on the current work functionalities, and they have to keep understanding how they're able to finish. Are they able to complete properly in time? They need other resources, they need someone with other skill set, they need some functional clarity. So all that understanding allows them to work out the further things more and more. Okay. And these are the inputs, like the technology, the resources, the timeline, the understanding. These are the inputs, and the outputs are the most important output is that we cannot just we can rather describe what is the goal. So when you do all this, when you work towards your goal, definitely the output is achieving the product, achieving the goal, achieving the sprint goal. So when you work with your capacity, with your entire team, with required resources and within the timeline, this ultimate output is of achieving the sprint goal. And this is very much understandable that you achieve or you complete many of the items from your sprint backlog also. So yes, I think we have seen a lot into this today. So what are your inputs and what they result in? What should be your output, or what is the output achieved when you put rightly the proper inputs? Yes, Gaurav, anything you would like to add? Because it's one of the similar things what we have been discussing on today.
Yes. So it's a continuity. So I think nothing to add extra, but we'll move to the next slide. Yeah.
So if you see, there are a lot of pictures and diagrams. Again, if you see, it's the person on the left is working in product backlog. I think this gives a better clarity. He has like a whiteboard or dashboard wherein he's working on sprint planning meeting. People are sitting, discussing, talking ideas, working on them ultimately. And then on the right side, final, yes, you're bang on, you're achieved that target, the sprint goal is achieved. So yes, please take pictures of these images. These are very helpful, easy to understand things, and you'll definitely, it will be beneficial for you. Yes.
So
yes,
in Agile Scrum, this is a very noticeable part, that this photograph or photograph like this or similar to this, you will find it getting repeated again and again. This is how things will move from whiteboard to the milestone. Okay. So you need to take care of that. You need to remember that and register in your mind. If Agile or Scrum is your thing, your forte or your goal, then you should remember this very much. This framework, this is all about Scrum, how Scrum is moving, how backlog items are proceeding, that you need to remember, okay, all the time. So that's why in a different model, different pictures, we are depicting that how Scrum follows. Yeah, I'll move to the next. So yeah,
thank you.
Scrum.
So yeah, Gaurav, I'll just request to take ahead. Guys, I'll take your leave for today. Have some track commitments. So, and I think we have really had a good understanding of these things. And I think Gaurav can take it forward from here. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prerna. Yeah.
Yes. Signing off early today, and hope to see you in the next session. Yeah, Gaurav. Bye, guys.
Sure,
bye. Any doubts, anything, please reach out to us. And please gear up for the upcoming interviews. This is, trust me, it's a lot fun than it sounds, and we ensure it will be a great experience for you. Yes, Gaurav?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Thank you so much.
So
thank you so much. See you. Yeah, bye-bye.
So now, guys, understand that we are talking about, we have seen the Scrum framework, right? Now in the Scrum framework, the importance of sprint is there. Sprint is nothing but what? Time duration. And you will listen from me or from us, and even in when you will follow in the offices or once you get placed this Scrum, you will listen more and more about time boxing, and one more keyword, that is done. Exactly. So Scrum sprint is repeatable fixed time box during which a done product, what is the keyword? Done product of the highest possible value is created. Now highest possible value means in the sprint planning, what you have done? You have discussed it. Okay, you have understood what? You have understood its priority, how much importance and how high value this particular activity holds in. Customer would require it, right? Are you following, everyone? Yes, you are with me, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So based on that, a backlog item is picked, discussed, performed, and done, and then shipped. Now, what happens? Sprint lies at the core of sprint agile methodology we are discussing from the day one, and can be thought of as an event which wraps all other Scrum event like daily Scrum, Scrum review, and retrospective. Now follow this. So what we have done in sprint planning, we discussed, right? And then every single activity we discuss further for 10 to 15 minutes in daily Scrum. Are you able to get it, everyone? Yeah. In sprint planning, the entire backlog, what has been taken up from the backlog item, okay, the prioritized backlog item discussed for maximum less than a day, we spend in discussing that who will do what and how and where and when. So every single item in that, from that discussion, will be discussed every single day, that how much you have done, how much is remaining, and is there any bottleneck you are seeing to complete the further. And once that is done, then Scrum review happens with the client where customer reviews. Okay, and once customer accept that, you ship it, and further you talk about the retro. What is retro? Can anyone tell me what exactly happens in sprint retrospective? So Brijesh, I would like to hear from you. What exactly happens in sprint retrospective? Either you can tell what happens, or you can tell that I don't know. Then I can tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you tell me?
Okay, thank you so much. So retrospective. So I had put the emphasis last time that it has made up of two things: retro and inspection. Retro is what? Retro is the past. Inspection means you inspect about it. Means past went how. Okay, so now let me combine these three words: past went how your past has gone. Okay, so in past, what you did, so how did you do that? Okay, in short, in sprint retrospective meeting, at the end, what we discuss that did we learn out of that, or we did not. If we learned, what did we learn? Okay, so can we reuse this learning in upcoming sprint? Okay, say for example, if 100 activities client has given us, client gives us one goal, we want to achieve this. When you product owner brainstorms with client, he comes up with product backlog item, and he says that your one goal consists of 100 items. In sprint planning, we pull 10 items. Okay, and we work for certain period that could be from 1 week to 4 weeks. Okay, so from 1 to 4 weeks, when it will finish? When sprint retrospective is done. In fact, once Scrum review is done, where client comes in and client accepts whatever you have designed is good, okay, ready to be moved, and then sprint retrospective happen, and then again sprint planning will happen, where client will discuss maybe some more new backlog items. 10 has been shipped. Are you able to visualize whatever I am telling everyone? Yeah, everyone is able to visualize. So 10 we had picked up at the start. We shipped it in the 4th week. Now, why 4th week? Because understand or assume that we are playing in 4 week of sprint. Okay. So now next again sprint planning will happen, and we will pick more backlog items. Say for example, this time we have picked 20. So we will decide who will perform on these 20. Again, this will follow the same cycle. Every single day we will discuss what we did good. What we did last time, last 8 hours, what we are going to do in the next 8 hours, and is there any bottleneck or problem we are facing about it. Yeah, challenges. Okay, again, if for 4 weeks we kept on discussing this, and at the end we discuss with a client in the meeting, which we call it as Scrum review, where client gives feedback and he says that, hey, bang on, I agree, whatever you have done is cool and ready to move. Okay. And when things gets moved, then again we land up to retrospective. Now remember, the moment retrospective comes in, you need to remember this: retro and inspection. Past need to be inspected, how it go, well or worse. Okay. Is it clear now? Sprint retrospective, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Brijesh, you are also clear now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Retro and inspection. Let me move further. Sprint is one time boxed. Okay. Iteration. Iteration is the another keyword. Okay. So time boxing has to be iterated. You remember in the earlier example what I was telling? For every 4 week, we are repeating daily scrum. Every single day. Okay. So the iteration happens once review is done, that one iteration is done. Okay. One backlog, one sprint we have completed. One sprint is a iteration. So sprint is one time box iteration of continuous development is another keyword. So what we are doing until entire 100 items from the previous example, we ship it to the client, it becomes the continuous development cycle. Are you following, Abha and everyone? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Gaurav, can you explain me once again iteration?
Yeah. So understand, iteration is not, but you can pick another word for iteration is repetition. Okay. So sprint is one time box iteration. When you time box your sprint, it has to be repeated until all the backlog item is finished. Okay. So for certain period of time, you are performing in a similar manner, but but you are performing on new items. That is new requirements, to be honest with you. Say for example, a project's goal is what? Is a set of requirements. Do you agree, Rupa?
Yeah.
So a project goal is a set of requirements, and say for example in the requirement document there are 100 such small requirements are there. Okay, so out of those 100 requirement, you decide, hey, we will work relentlessly in this project for 4 weeks, and in every 4 week we will pick 25 items and we will run these 4 weeks 4 times. Okay. Then within 16 weeks, we are anticipating this project to be finished. Are you with me, Rupa?
Yes.
Cool. So what is going to happen? Everyone, Abha, Brijesh, Bela, and everyone out here, Anila and Varsha, pay attention. So in 16 weeks, we have to finish this 100 candidates. 100 candidates means what? 100 requirement. That is a set of goal. Okay. And so after every 4 week is the time box. The continuous development is ongoing. When it goes on, in coming one of the picture, I'll show you that how it looks like. Okay. You will be able to see that. So every single 4 weeks, in 4 weeks, the development is happening, the deployment is happening. Okay, so this is called as iteration. The repetition of the deployment is the iteration, which comes from the continuous development of the cycle, which we call is as a sprint. So is it clear now, Rupa, what exactly the iteration is?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So within a sprint, planned amount of work has to be completed by the team and made ready for review. So where do you plan? Of course, in sprint planning, right? You plan that what is to be achieved. Then Scrum projects are broken down into small and consistent time intervals. Remember, when I talk about consistent time interval, you can go back and relate to the 4 weeks of example. Yeah, here it also says that consistent time interval referred to as sprint. They can be as short as a few days and generally are no longer than 3 to 4 weeks. So in interview, I may ask you, Brijesh, that one sprint is, what do you mean by one sprint? How long one sprint could be? What should be your answer, Brijesh?
It could be no longer than 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, and as short as few days. Yeah,
few days. Yes.
Yeah, so few days means 1 week. 1 week you consider as few days, because sometime when we also consider some holidays, okay, then in a week's time, if management has decided that we will keep every sprint of a week, so sometime few holidays fall in a week, then even in 2 or 3 days, few people target to finish their first sprint. So this is how it goes. So let's move to the next and understand more in detail. Okay. So where are we? Yeah, here. So Scrum sprint. So here you see, here it is talking about self-organized team. Everyone is holding a backlog item. What you see is what? Backlog item. Everyone is working individually on it. Okay. They get into training, coaching, and mentoring with the help of Scrum Master. And they integrate all these pieces together at the end. So what it says over here, during a sprint, there is a development team. Development team consists of what? QA experts, system admin, programmers, analysts, architecture, UI designer, developers, and testers, and everyone, and business analysts, everyone. So what exactly happened? That comprise of cross-functional members. Why do we call cross-functional to our development team? So, yeah, go ahead.
They are highly expertise in different skills.
Bang on. That's true. So they are highly expertise in the different skill, and that's why they are also called as self-organized and cross-functional. Okay, cross-functional, because from different function they are interacting with each other. So this could influence software engineers, and this could include software engineers, and just now I spoke. So this picture is self-explanatory, that everyone is working with a different piece of requirement, and at the end they have to integrate them together. So what exactly happened? Understand here before the sprint. Okay, so before just sprint, we discuss, we plan it. Do you agree with this? Before we get into the sprint execution, we plan it. So here it says that there is a sprint planning meeting. Okay. Bela, you are there with me, right?
Yes.
Thank you. So the length of the sprint planning meeting is proportional to the length of the sprint. So if a sprint goes for 4 weeks, here you see the next bullet. A 4-week sprint should be planned in no more than 8 hours. So say, for example, if management and Scrum Master has decided with product owner that every sprint will go for 4 weeks, then remember, every single sprint planning meeting will not exceed more than 8 hours. Okay, and a 1-week sprint should be planned in no more than 2 hours. Okay, you understand the proportion, Abba, and everyone? Yeah, you understand the proportion of this, how sprint planning will be of 2 hours or 8 hours. It depends upon what?
how big the sprint is.
Exactly, that's true. Abha, you are there with me, right? Following.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So this meeting determines what the goals are for that sprint based on the team velocity, and a set of features are pulled from the top of the product backlog. I gave you in the earlier example, which was the pictorial example, where I was talking about the stack has to be moved, okay, from top to when it is shipped.
From left to right.
Yes, left to right. So a set of features are pulled from the top of the product backlog to the sprint backlog for the coming sprint. Exactly. Product backlog is the entire set of the requirement, and sprint backlog is the chosen set or prioritized set of the requirement for certain sprint or certain time. Okay. So now understand this. So this is very interesting. In product backlog, what comes? All the requirement. Now, every requirement is a goal itself. Okay. And at the end, what you see, what we are deriving, sprint backlog. So what exactly happened over here? We pick the features, we pick the bigger goal, and we break them in smaller pieces so that they become the activities or tasks. And we actually ship them into the tasks. Everyone, are you getting that? What is user story then? So user story can be a bigger feature. Say, for example, let me give you example. So everyone pay attention. Rupa, Abha, Bela, and Brijesh, and everyone pay attention. Say, for example, we have to develop a software of cash dispensing machine. Okay. Cash has to be dispensed. Now it has in cash, the moment cash dispensing comes in, what all comes in your mind, Bela? A cash dispenser involves of what all activities come in your mind? Bela would like to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, you mean to say customer can access the...
Right, you're going right. Please tell.
They can access the account to withdraw the cash, or...
Okay, great. That's good. That comes in your mind that you said. Abha, what comes in your mind the moment you listen to cash dispensing?
Cash dispensing, like if a customer, anybody wants some money, like in emergency, they can take out the required amount.
Taking out the required amount. Okay, so taking out is required amount, and that's what Abha said. Then what Bela said, accessing the account. Okay, accessing the amount and taking out the amount. Okay, accessing account and taking out the amount are two different activities. The moment you listen to cash dispensing, that comes in your mind. Brijesh, what comes in your mind?
Like an ATM, kind of the same thing.
Wonderful. ATM, amazing. So ATM is one way that comes in your mind. Varsha, what comes in your mind?
Apart from the dispensing money, what else? The other additional features that you can perform, like you can view the balance after taking out the money.
Wonderful. Balance is one. What comes in your mind, Anila?
We can withdraw, we can check the balance.
That we have repeated. So yes.
Then there are different kinds of accounts, that are savings, current.
Wonderful. Bang on. Okay, thank you so much. So now, Rupa, what comes in your mind?
Yeah, the same thing. We can withdraw, and this is security also.
Awesome. So now one thing which missed was card, the device. Okay, ATM machine came, as Brijesh said. We have also to have a card as well, and sometime nowadays it becomes the cardless. Okay, and the moment Rupa says that security means ATM pin entry. Okay, PIN entry that relates to the security. Yeah. So the moment you hear this few things, now let me draw something for you. Okay. So yeah. So here we see CDM, that is cash dispensing machine, and now it has few features. Okay, 1, then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay, so first one is what? Just a minute. The first one is what? The first one was this thing, ATM with or without card. Okay. Second one becomes that security, that is the PIN authentication. Now the another things becomes what, as Anila said, that was
select the account type.
Yeah, select the account. Okay. Now, who had said that access the bank account? Bela. Okay. So select the account and then account access. And who has said that? Check the balance. Yeah. I think Abha had said that. Check the balance. I don't remember. So yeah. So here is the check balance. Check balance. And at the end, you all said,
withdraw.
Yeah, withdraw. So in fact, what is going to happen and what we did, we talked about cash dispensing that came up with these 5 features. Okay. So one can go to the ATM, and now ATM will read the card or read the customer with card or without card. That could be one feature. Second, how you enter the security PIN, how it gets authenticated. That is the another requirement of this card dispensing machine is a bigger goal. Are you able to relate, everyone, that this alone card dispensing machine is coming with the small features, and you select the account, whether it is current, saving, or what kind of account. Then you access and check balance. Okay. So check balance was one thing which we did not write. Okay. And based on that, it gives you either the error message or the balance message, or it gives you the cash. Okay. Cash out. So now let me go back to the slide. Okay. Now here what you see, let me reshare the screen on the slide. Here what you see is this, that what all you saw on the whiteboard, those were called as user story. Okay. So those user story, how to write, that is the different game. Okay. So I'll tell you in detail, but for now you can remember, as a cashier or as an account owner, I can go to the cardless ATM machine and still can withdraw some amount. Okay. As an account owner, I can also check balance. That becomes the another user story. As a card owner or an account owner or a current account owner, I can check my balance. Okay. I can take out the cash. So these all things, after one full stop, whatever I spoke, that becomes your own, means your own different user stories. Everyone following over here? So every single feature I have quoted, and that I can write in different cards. Those become what? User story. Are you following everyone with me? Everyone?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, whatever you have now followed in the user story, now what we'll do, even in that, we will make some task. So one task, when I enter wrong pin, what will happen? That becomes one task. Second task, when I'll enter only the pin and don't press the enter button, what is going to happen? Okay. When I enter instead of 4-digit pin, only 3-digit, what will happen? And when I'll enter the 4-digit right pin, right pin code or right security ATM pin number, what is going to happen? So you remember one activity of security itself. Security became the feature. Okay. We broke them down into further 4 different activities or tasks to be completed.
Gaurav?
Yeah.
Gaurav, I have a question here.
Yes.
So when we were actually preparing the BRD, we had the same question and we were getting confused all the time while preparing the requirements.
Tell me.
For this, like user story, you took one activity, let's say entering a card.
Yeah. Okay.
So then you broke it down to 3-4 different patterns, which are quite possible in case of any customer. Like he might insert the card wrong way. Then what will happen? If he enter the pin wrong, then what will happen? So as a part of business requirement document, are we supposed to consider all these scenarios itself as a user story, or they are just the task?
Okay, so I'll give you some thumb rule. So if one user story will tell you that this is the mixture of 2-3 tasks, it has further potential to be broken it down in the task. It may happen, you may come up with one user story, it will have 2-3 tasks included in it. But it's your, as a business analyst, job is that not in the BRD document, you are breaking them down. Even if you break them down, that is good, but not only in a BRD document. In fact, what the system you are using, like we generally in IT use Jira, for example, or sometime Trello, or sometime Monday.com. There we will make sure that these small tickets, there we are writing that all those activities. Okay. BRD is okay to be written in, but now gradually BRD is becoming outdated. Now everything has to be captured into the system. Okay. Why we are encouraging system? Because system does not fail, people do, right? And everywhere, even in Guru schools, if you will follow there, you will succeed if you'll follow the entire system which has been presented in front of you. That was starting from instructor-led free training, then getting into RRRP session, doing all the assignment. Why these has to become to you? Because these are the valued system. If you follow every single thing as a T, your placement is bound to happen. But if you miss anything, that may go on toss. In the similar manner, if you'll keep on documenting only few things on superficial level, it may get on toss. But the moment you'll follow everything and document everything in the system like Jira, Monday.com or Trello, you will find everything has been captured. Missing every point may lead to the failure, but adding every single thing in the system will lead to the success. That's the reason it is very, very important that you are adding every single task and activity into Jira. Okay, Jira is just one example. Okay, yeah. So I'll one day I'll present you that how does Jira look like. By the way, wonderful question. So everyone understood the question, importance of it, and the answer.
Yes.
Everyone out here, is it?
Yes.
From everyone. Thank you so much. So let's move further. I have explained what exactly happened in sprint planning meeting. Now I think we have spoken about it, but let's see if we have missed anything. No features are added during the sprint. So what exactly happens? So customer is working and anticipating and expecting some delivery from you. So during the sprint, means developer is working. It may happen, everyone pay very close attention over here. It may happen some smart people may reach to the developer and tell that, even product owner for that matter may say that, hey, listen, but generally it does not have to happen. Everyone should be knowing this. Hey, listen, he may approach to one developer and say that customer has just requested a small change. Can you incorporate over here? For that, who is going to be the shield? Who is going to be the torch bearer over here? A Scrum Master. And he will take a stand and he will tell whatever you want to include that was not discussed in the sprint planning, that you have to bring that in next sprint planning. Not right now. So that is the part of during the sprints. So that's why it says no features are added and the sprint goals don't even change. The only exception to this is if the team finishes a sprint early, then only again small sprint planning meeting will happen and you can include the new request in the sprint which is to be delivered. Okay, if we have planned for 4 weeks and we finish something in 2 weeks, we have still 2 weeks in hand. So in that 2 weeks, we can accommodate something new, whatever new changes has been requested. And ultimately, the new changes have been accommodated and we are shipping them in the 4th week. Are we following, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks. So daily stand-up is in a sprint is every single day we keep on talking about 3 items, right? What happened and what I'm going to do and if any problem.
Challenges.
Yeah. The daily scrum, also known as the daily stand-up or daily scrum. You remember this. This is the keyword. You may be asking into the interview, tell me about the daily scrum. Have you ever done stand-up? Okay. So in fact, in the interview, you will be asked about it. But every single time, even in the training, we do that. We discuss what we discussed last time, right? You remember that? We run a slide where we said that this is the recap slide. Even if you'll go into this, you must find there is a recap slide. Okay, let me go and see if it was there included or not. Yeah, here you see it is a recap slide. What we did, and the next slide is what we are going to see. This is that. Okay, and before that we ask about the assignments where we also seek that if you faced any challenges, right?
Yes.
So in the daily stand-up, during which team members synchronize effort and everyone comes on the same board, and daily scrum enables team members to ensure the right thing are being worked on by right people at the right time. No one is falling behind the time, falling behind the schedule that also are considered in this stand-up meeting. So everyone follows over here. Yeah. So let's understand what it says in detail. So what exactly happened? The scenario you can visualize if everyone is working together, okay, on the same floor. So every morning before the start of the day and every morning of the sprint, the project team gets together for a short daily stand-up meeting and everyone will stand in that for 15 minutes or so. This meeting takes place at the same room, same time, every single day and includes everyone on the project. And everyone stands up for the meeting to keep everyone focused and to keep the meeting short. Often a timer is set so that meeting does not run long. Okay, you follow everyone what exactly the ideal scenario is, and each person will talk about these 3 things. What did I do yesterday? So when daily stand-up comes in, what should ring in your bell? That I have to tell what I did yesterday to help achieve the sprint goal and what I'm going to do to achieve the sprint goal today. And what, if anything, is impeding or blocking the progress towards the sprint goal. So these 3 items. So is it clear, everyone? Rupa, Abha, Brijesh, Bela. Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So now Scrum meeting, this is going to be the second last slide, I guess. Yeah. So Scrum meeting, these 3 questions allow for complete transparency. Everyone comes on the same page. Daily communication happens. Everyone tracks everyone's progress. Okay. Now, this is the same thing what we have repeated. That's this is what I have done since we last met. This is what I'm planned to do today. And these are the obstacles I have encountered that you have to speak. Now, remember, this is the iteration, Rupa. Okay. This happens. What do you see here? This is the iteration. Okay, Rupa, in the pictorial form. Okay. So this is a complete sprint. Are you following me?
Yes, I'm.
And yeah. So this is the product backlog entirely. This is the sprint planning meeting. So as I said that these are all the features or user story. Here in the sprint planning, you prioritize the sprint backlog, and then you give in a sprint review, the tick mark comes from the client. Hey, done. It has been accepted. Now you ship them completely as a part of product in sprint number 1, then 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Yeah, everyone is clear on this? This is the Scrum framework we are repeating in a different pictures, in a different manner. Yeah. So this is the second last slide, in fact. So what is sprint in Scrum is time box iteration of a development cycle. That is number 1. Broken project into small and consistent time interval. That is 2. And as short as a few days to as long as 4 weeks. This is 3. And the 4th one is can call a sprint goal a project in itself due to start and finish record it gives. Okay. So every activity has to be started and every activity has to be finished, right? So that's the reason every sprint can be called out as a goal in itself. By the way, let me ask you, everyone is clear on this? And after completing today, go back and draw whatever you have learned. And also repeat this once you will be getting the recording. Okay. So everyone is clear on this? Abha, Bela, Rupa, Brijesh, Anila, and Varsha.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have not spoken yes, you can say no if you have not understood. So Abha and Bela did not hear from you.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think, so this is it for today. So we have pretty much covered very intense in detail. So this gives you much more clarity. Please do the assignment. Please submit your, summary. This may go on Guru School's YouTube channels. Some partners with Guru Schools are eyeing on the upcoming, summary, and you may be one of those fortunate one where you will be picked based on how do you articulate, based on how do you present small summary, even though it becomes 1 or 2. Even though you go raw, it doesn't matter. How do you present? It matters. I don't know how many of you have observed this in IT industry, that even people who stumble while speaking, they get selected and they work with some renowned company. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Anyone? Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being honest. I have seen it. I have witnessed it. Okay. People who cannot even cope up well in communication, they are doing well in some great position. So based on that, how exactly you are pouring and summarizing the wisdom, what you have learned or known, it is going to add a lot of value. So you have not done anything yet. And when it comes to summary, please do that. As I said in the starting, it will give you result of what you will do, and it will give you result of what you will not do. Okay. So based on that, remember this. So if no question comes in, let me ask you this, that Brijesh, what do you feel like saying today for this today's session? Yeah, please.
It was very informative, and I want to look back and learn a couple of the past couple classes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brijesh. Please call out someone's name on the screen. You can see.
Anila.
Anila, what do you feel like saying about today's call?
Today's session was very informative, and I mean, lots of information was given.
Okay, informative. Thank you so much, Anila. Call out someone's name.
Abha.
Abha. Abha, what do you feel like saying today?
It was a very detailed session today, and too much like everything of the Scrum and the sprint planning, and we'll like to listen to the again.
Thank you, Abha. Call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Bela.
Bela, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it's a very informative and get clear picture on Scrum Sprint more. Yes.
Fine. Call out someone's name on the screen.
Varsha?
Varsha, what do you feel like saying?
Very good recap.
Very good, detailed. Okay, call out someone's
Recap.
name. On the... Oh, recap. Okay, yeah. For you, it is recap. Yeah.
Yeah, Rupa.
Yeah, Rupa, what do you feel like saying?
It's more informative, and it is today I learned about what is sprint planning process.
Exactly.
How it is.
Thank you. Call out someone's name.
Gaurav.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for staying up to now. And this is my sincere request to complete the assignment. Okay. Go back and again listen to this recording and also do your own self-research. See, I always remember that you have joined here to get placed. This is my intent. I don't want you to lose the connection on your this intent. Also make it more stronger. Hey, you want to get placed. So also repeat RRRP session. This is the repetition to optimize your profile, not only on LinkedIn, but also how you will present your resume accordingly. Okay. I have received couple of resume and I have given the feedback, and approved ones from RRP session has come back to me. So if yours one is not done, please do work on that and get it done. Okay. So that's my message. I would say a good night